I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Network. We're going to talk about Disney. By default, we'll talk about Ron DeSantis, too, in all this. But as we know, earlier in the year, Disney went head-to-head with Ron DeSantis over what the woke political mob referred to as the quote-unquote Don't Say Gay bill. All it was, hey, don't push your LGBTQ and your sexual content into our public schools from grades K through 3rd. I argued Ron DeSantis' bill actually didn't go far enough because I don't see why it needs to be in any grade in public school where people are paying their taxes for said school district. You get my point. Well, Disney come out and was very vocal about the fact that they were going to fight Ron DeSantis' bill, and Ron DeSantis promptly slapped them straight in the mouth, ripped away their self-governing status that they have had forever, and has stripped away their tax exemptions. By the way, in that same time period, Disney lost about $63 billion. By now, who knows how much that really is, because that was as of about maybe 10 weeks ago I did that video that they had dropped $63 billion in value. No telling how much more you've dropped in value since. We continue to see wokeness in all content, whether it's Marvel / the MCU or Lucasfilm / Star Wars. Well, now Bob Chapek is trying to walk it back because it seems he wants to hold a hand out and bridge the gap to try to get along with everybody. Except it's not going to work that way. He's realizing his company is taking a beating financially. But the problem is your company, Disney, that was once formed and developed by Walt Disney, who targeted traditional value Americans. Disney has not shown us anything that resembles a course correction in content. Okay, so that's going to be your first problem, Bob Chapek, right there. And as long as you choose to get involved in politics like you did in Florida, your brand's going to continue to tank as well. Breitbart, Disney's Bob Chapek now wants company to be, quote, everything for everyone after fighting Florida's anti-grooming law. Disney CEO Bob Chapek now claims he wants the company to be, quote, everything for everyone after he caved to the woke mob and fought the anti-grooming law in Florida. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter during the D23 Expo over the weekend, Chapek doubled down on his decision to Flight the Florida, which barred school teachers and administrators from discussing sexuality with children through the 3rd grade. In retaliation to Disney's corporate wokeism, Florida removed Disney World's special status, which essentially allowed it to operate as its own local government in Orlando. They could literally do anything they wanted down there. They had their own firefighters, their own police officers. Yikes, that shouldn't have happened anyway. In March, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis came out swinging hard against Walt Disney's company for the CEO's support of transgender instruction of kindergartners. Quote, when you have companies that have made a fortune off of being family-friendly, and that's the exact thing. If these people with these ultra-progressive ideologies wants a product, create one. But stay out of the ones that were developed for traditional families. Let's be real. That have made a fortune of being family-friendly and catering to families and young kids, they should understand that parents of young kids do not want this injected into their kids' kindergarten classroom or their products. DeSantis took it further by calling out Disney's hypocrisy, characterizing it as greedy company willing to die on the hill of transgenderism while coddling communist China. We're talking about the same company that once eliminated John Boyega from a Star Wars poster in China because they did not want to upset Xi Jinping. Yeah. Quote, if that's the hill they're going to die on, then how do they possibly explain lining their pockets with the relationship from the Communist Party of China? Because that's what they do, and they make a fortune, and they don't say a word about the brutal practices that you see over there at the hands of the CCP. And so, in Florida, our policies got to be based on the best interest of Florida citizens, not on the musings of woke corporations. He also made a point to say, look, you're not turning Florida into Burbank, California. Amen. Now, Chapek is facing questions about how he handled the fiasco and how it played out in public and within the company. Quote, you apologize to the staff on Don't Say Gay. That issue caused you a lot of problems no matter what you did. Do you feel like that you have won back the staff's trust? THR asked Chapek. Quote, these are complex social issues where we absolutely positively want to represent the needs and expectations of our cast members, but we also realize that sometimes in such a divided world, there's not an alignment between what possibly larger contingencies of our guest and consumer base are looking for in terms of the kind of content that they want to show their kids at this particular time, Chapek responded. Okay, so are you saying you're going to course correct your content? Crickets. Chapek then admitted Disney also wants to have its cake and eat it too by pledging to ensure that the company offers, quote, everything to everybody. You're not going to be able to do that. There's nothing worse than a fucking fence sitter. Excuse my language. Quote, what we try to do is be everything to everybody. That tends to be very difficult because we're the Walt Disney Company. When you're a lightning rod for clicks and for political podium speeches, the essence of our brand can be misappropriated or misused to try to fit the needs of any one particular group's agenda. That is on you, Bob Chapek. You're the one that decided to butt in and take your company political and wrap your loving arms around progressive woke politics, and you started that years ago. Don't believe me? Star Wars The Last Jedi. It came out in, 2017? We want to rise above that. We believe Disney is a place where people can come together with shared values of what an optimistic, ideal future can be. It should be noted, by the way, that many of these political figures that are ultra woke, ultra progressive, that have tried to invade schools around the country have actually been voted out and will get voted out. And the school boards are now flipping towards more traditional values. Walt Disney better recognize that. Quote, we certainly don't want to get caught up in any political subterfuge, but at the same time, we also realize that we want to represent a brighter tomorrow for families of all types, regardless of how they define themselves. And the staff, do they feel that from you? THR. I think our staff saw how I stood firm during the ultimate barrage of attacks from certain political constituencies, and frankly, I think it was much stronger and longer and much harder than they could have ever imagined, and we stood our ground, Chapek responded. As Breitbart News has profiled on several occasions, Disney has plunged itself into pushing woke content beyond all recognition, whether it's casting a trans, quote, non-binary actress into Marvel's Ironheart or including a same-sex kiss in a children's movie like Lightyear. Yeah, or how about one of Baymax or one of their kids' shows has a guy that I think is supposed to be a transgender actually buying some tampons or Tampax for his own use, I believe. I mean, that's in a cartoon now. Or how about the fact that Marvel's just got gay and lesbian characters all over the place, right out in the open. And look, these Marvel products, these MCU products are supposed to still be kids' products, I thought. Star Wars, Grogu, still supposed to be kids' products, right? I mean, my God. They're going to tank their company no matter what. At some point, it's going to plummet. It truly is. I mean, people are just going to draw a line. I already know people right now that just will not let their kids consume Disney anymore. No more Disney Plus. No more going to theme parks. They've just had enough. They don't want their kids subjected to this crap. They don't. I don't know. It's crazy. Entertainment is just like politics these days. You've got divided fan bases, just like you've got a divided country. I appreciate the fact that Ron DeSantis stepped out there and said, you know what? You're going to pull this crap in my state? Boom. Let me take all these special privileges and rights that you've got away from you. You're not going to Burbank or Florida. This is what Bob Chapek doesn't get. Okay? He can't have it both ways. Okay? A lot of people across the political aisles don't get this. You can't have it both ways. Okay? There's certain things that, at least on my side of the political aisle, the way I think and the way I want to vote, I'm not going to waver on, and I'm not going to cave on. Okay? I'm just not. Same thing with entertainment. Not going to happen. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. I believe Bob Chapek is out of his mind if he thinks he can have it all ways. It's not going to work like that. And the value of your company will continue to drop. Again, you marketed towards traditional values. Hell, I've always contended products like Star Wars, it was built as a conservative brand on the backs of conservative Americans. And then they want to piss and moan and call their customers racist when there's something that we don't appreciate, like a crappy story. Oh, we're worried about diversity, but we don't care how this story turns out. There you go. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.